Hello and welcome to the MAC weather page for this Monday, December 21st. Tomorrow's the first day of winter. This is the week of Christmas and hardly an ounce of winter to be found across the area, nor do we expect really much of anything here over the next 7 days. In fact, all the computer models for the next 10 days do not generate any accumulating snow across all of the MAC or LAC area. So we're looking probably, if we're going to get any snow, it's going to be the week of New Year's and probably closer to New Year's, even if we get any then. So again, a continued very warm pattern. In fact, this week we could see records on Wednesday here in the mid-Michigan area for not only precipitation, but for temperature, as our record on Wednesday is 53, set back in, I believe, 2006. That record is certainly going to be in jeopardy. I think temperatures in the mid-50s to near 60 for the day on Wednesday. And the precipitation record for that day is 0.78. And that was set back in 1949. And we can see a pretty wet day with even some thunderstorms possible on the day Wednesday, and we'll look at that in just a second. You can see across the Great Lakes our wind flow. Let's move this a little bit. And you can see right out of the south, that's bringing the warmer temperatures and the Gulf moisture. We got rain that's moved into the area. In fact, some areas already up to a quarter of an inch of precipitation around the Lansing area, with around a couple of tenths across much of southwest lower Michigan, spreading to the northeast. And again, about a quarter to a half inch of precipitation for today and tonight. Could end with a few wet snowflakes. But again, on the big map, you can see our southerly wind flow bringing that warm Gulf moisture up into the region. And that system will eventually move out pretty quickly once we get past tonight. But on this morning's map, you can see that over the tri-state area of Iowa, Wisconsin, and Illinois. Again, that'll move off to the northeast, pulling that moisture into the Great Lakes, giving us a nearly 100% chance of rain today. And as we move the map into motion by tomorrow, the low will be east of Lake Huron with a cold front down across the area into the Gulf. And again, that'll take the moisture out of the area. Tuesday will be a pretty decent day once we get to the afternoon, and we'll try to dry things up, but it won't last long. Our next system already coming in from the west, and you can see on the day Wednesday, we'll have a couple low pressure systems, one across the area just north of Minnesota with a cold front. That'll become stationary, leading into another low pressure. And as this low pressure system moves north along that front, that'll be moving to the east. It's going to bring a lot of Gulf moisture, as that Gulf will still be wide open. And I think Wednesday, this will be for 7 a.m. Wednesday morning. By the afternoon, you can see in this area of Red Hatch, those are thunderstorms. And again, that'll move into the area, and we could see a pretty good chance of at least some thunder, and that could bring some heavier downpours. And I think many areas will pick up between 1/2 and 1 inch of rain, and from very late Tuesday night, but mainly for Wednesday night, and it'll end early Thursday. If we look at the forecasted precipitation from the WPC over the next 7 days, you can see much of the area from the Gulf to the southern Great Lakes will see very heavy rainfalls of between 1 and 3 inches across much of southern lower Michigan. And again, depending on the model, you can see this is the GFS model that portrays about 2.5 inches across the area from southwest to the Saginaw Bay, and even some 3.5 inch rains, with 2-inch rains plus across southeast lower Michigan. Again, this might be a little bit on the aggressive side, but if you look at some of the other model support, you can see the Canadian also showing about anywhere from 1 to as much as 3 inches across the state. And finally, the JMA, or the Japanese model, again, between 1 to as much as 2.5 inches of rain. So most of the major models are giving us quite a bit of rain. It's going to come from 3 different systems, and one for today into tonight, and the next one in from Tuesday night, but mainly for Wednesday night. And then finally, as we get in towards Christmas night into the weekend, that one will be the lesser of the 3. The big system looks like it'll be Wednesday, and that'll also have the warm air and the heavy rains and the potential thunderstorms. Thanks for stopping by, and have a great day, a great work week, and 73s to all.